Peace, love, and blessings, fam. Johnny Sally here with day number 41 of Wisdom of the Ages by Wayne W. Dyer. If you've missed the previous recordings, you can catch them on YouTube at Loyalty Life, spelled Lyfe, Legacy LLC. Let's get into day number 41, visualization. There is a law in psychology that if you form a picture in your mind of what you would like to be, and you keep and hold that picture there long enough, you will soon become exactly as you have been thinking. William James, American philosopher, psychologist, and teacher. William James was a gifted writer in the field of theology, psychology, ethics, and metaphysics. William James was a part of an incredibly accomplished family. His father, Henry James Sr., was a highly respected philosophical theologian who developed his own philosophy based on the teachings of Emanuel Swedenborg. William's brother, Henry, 1 year younger, became a world-class novelist who wrote Daisy Miller, The Portrait of a Lady, and The Ambassadors. Many consider William James the father of modern psychology. In this one brief statement, he offers a powerful tool for all of us to use each and every day of our lives. It is glorious in its simplicity, and when fully understood, it is also one of the great secrets of becoming exactly the kind of person you would like to be. Yet, because of its simplicity, it is often ignored by those who attribute their unhappiness to factors such as bad luck, or the gods, or circumstances, or the economy, or genetics, or family history, or a potentially endless litany of excuses explaining their failures and flaws. William James was a much sought after lecturer in religion, philosophy, and psychology, which he personally transformed from a non-scientific philosophy to a laboratory science. He abandoned the philosophy of determinism, proclaiming, "My first act of free will shall be to believe in free will." He refers to the statement at the beginning of this piece as a law in psychology. This process of forming a picture in our minds is often referred to as visualization and is based on the biblical idea, "As you think, so shall ye be." This goes well beyond the idea of positive thinking. If you want to see your life work at an entirely new level, I encourage you to discover how this law works for you. We think in pictures, just as we dream in pictures. Not words, sentences, or phrases, but mental images. The words are symbols enabling us to communicate or describe those pictures. It is this picture process that William James is saying that you control with your free will. If you can learn to hold those pictures long enough without allowing anyone to weaken them, you will actually convert those pictures into your reality. You will become a co-creator of your very existence and all that shows up in your life. I have written an entire book called Manifest Your Destiny on these principles involved in this process, and I choose not to repeat those 9 principles here. What I will do is offer you what I think of as the 4 R's for putting this idea to work beginning today. Here are the 4 R's in one sentence. What you really, 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 really want, you will get. The first R stands for what you really wish. Here is where you form a picture of what you would like in your life, such as a promotion, a new car, weight loss, non-addiction, or whatever. We spoke about some of these things yesterday, remember? Once the picture is formed, you wish for it by seeing yourself in the job, or driving the new car, or at your desired weight, or non-addiction. Everything you manifest begins with a wish based on inner visualization. The second R stands for what you really desire. The difference between merely having a picture in your mind that you wish for and a desire is in your willingness to ask for it. Ask and you shall receive. is not an empty promise. Whatever it is that you have wished for in your imaginary, ask out loud. In your imagery, my apologies. Whatever you've asked for in your imagery, ask out loud, but privately to receive. Divine Creator of all, I'm asking you for your cooperation in bringing this picture to me in a material way. The third R stands for what you really intend. Now, you take the picture that you have wished for and asked for, and you frame it into a statement of intention or will. It goes like this: I intend to bring the picture into my world with the cooperation of whatever you prefer to name as the creative intelligence, whether it be the divine creator of all, any particular God, whatever you see as your highest purpose or calling. I'm gonna tell you another thing that most don't realize works: your higher self or your ancestors. Speak to them and watch them begin to shift in your life, because they're actually closer to you than the divine creator of all. Trust me. There is no room here for doubt with such statements as, if everything works out okay, or if I am lucky. A statement of intention is based on the law that William James formulates for you at the beginning of this chapter. The fourth R stands for what you feel really passionate about, or what I call the hardening of the will. You are unwilling to allow anyone to discourage your passionate purpose or put a damper on your picture. You resist the negative opinions of others, and you remain silent as much as possible on what you intend to produce into your life. I still work on that too myself, of not telling everybody what I have planning or going on, because some people could throw salt on your intentions and manifestations unknowingly. The passion is what William James meant by, and keep and hold that picture there long enough. Those who are really, 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 really accomplished at attracting into their lives all that they desire are by no means lucky, nor do their circumstances create their desires. They have all fours working for them at all times, and particularly the fourth R, really passionate. So, what are those four R's again? Really wish, really desire, really intend, and really passionate about. Virtually everything in my life, including all my books and tapes, are the result of applying this law in psychology. It all begins with a wish. This book began with a wish I could write a book that interpreted the great wisdom of the people I've so admired all my life and what they offer all of us today, even though they've all left our planet. I actually saw a picture of the various poems and contributions at the top of 60 pages and my essays to you, the reader. I then expressed this desire to my wife and my agent along with my editor, at the same time that I asked for the ability and the cooperation of the universe to bring it about. This was followed by an intention to create such a book that I relayed to the various people and departments involved in the publishing process. Some liked it, some were a bit skeptical, telling me all the reasons that poetry analysis were not popular, and some discouraged me. I had my picture of the book, and I loved the idea of bringing these great masters to my readers' lives. Finally, my passion took over, and it was impossible for me to ignore my pictures. As William James said, you will soon become exactly as you have been thinking. And here it is, right in your hands. The key to this is putting all four R's to work and really using them. What is it that you weren't willing to do to make it happen? Is my response to the question I frequently hear, wondering why something didn't materialize as pictured. When the passion is there and you refuse to allow any interference from any external sources, nothing will stop you. According to William James, it is a law. And he speaks truth. It is a law. That which is destined for you by your spiritual agency, by your ancestors and your higher self, no man can interrupt or disrupt that. To activate this law in your life, I suggest you implement the 4 R's. Here are his suggestions. 1. Be willing to wish for anything you want. You are entitled to share in the abundance of the universe. Refuse to limit yourself and see yourself as unworthy. You are a divine creation of the divine creator of all and are as much entitled to prosperity, love, and health as anyone who has ever lived on this physical planet. Express your wishes in the form of a request to your name or phrase for the creative intelligence that many call God, which is a title. Be willing to ask for help and don't be embarrassed to put your request in writing as well as voicing it. Ask and you shall receive is not an empty promise. Practice phrasing your request in terms that eliminate doubt. Use words such as I will, I shall, I intend, rather than camouflaging your desires in the wishy-washy terminology of language that seeks but doesn't expect to receive, like praying, oh, I would like for you to give me this if you see it fit, or you know how many times you don't receive what you're praying for because you just put confusion on, oh, well, you don't believe you should really have it. And lastly, as much as possible, keep your pictures to yourself along with your intentions to materialize them. When you encounter resistance, instead of using it to become discouraged, transform the negative feedback into the energy of your passion to bring your picture into clear, touchable focus. Look, quick story, right? So, most know, some don't that are new here. I was incarcerated. I was charged and given 16 years, which I did 5 years on for a crime I did not commit. So I had already been denied. I want to say I was on my third parole look, and I came across this book. I'd have to look up the name of it. I don't know why it slipped me because I literally had the book in my mind, but I guess the focus is less the book than the story at this moment. So, the book spoke about how to manifest, and it spoke about you envisioning the happiest, most joyous moment in your life that you can think of. And the moment you feel that glimmer in your heart, you feel that light activate, your heart chakra center begins to rotate in the clockwise fashion of light. You shift your consciousness to what it is that you want. So, at this point in time, I was working in the boiler room, which was cool. I was a night owl anyway, so I'm up all night reading, whatever it may be, taking notes, all kinds of stuff, studying. I chose to use my time while incarcerated very wisely. So I was in the boiler room, and every night I would go out on the back dock and I would look at Sirius B, one of the brightest stars in the sky. I would stare at that star, and I would think of all of the miraculous times in my life that I was so overjoyed that I couldn't explain it. And then I would shift my consciousness into me sitting on the floor on the phone hearing, you just made parole. But it wasn't just that. I literally programmed a trigger moment for me to know what was taking place. I had the picture of me being on the phone and hearing, you might want to sit down. And the moment that I heard, you might want to sit down, I said, I know what you're going to say. They said, what? I said, I don't care to say it. I need to hear you say it. The next things I heard were, you got an FI1, you're coming home, which is exactly what I had requested. And right after that, one of my other buddies came in through the door and tapped me on my shoulder and said, hey bro, get off the phone, pack your stuff, you're on chain tonight, you're going home. So I know manifesting is real. Even the rituals we get from Galacticus, that's Galighticus, with Sri Master Gano Grills, he has given us so many rituals. I'll tell you like this. He gave us one for New Year's that we should do anytime before New Year's Eve. Before the end of January, I had received one of the things that I had requested. One of these things I had been manifesting since knowing that I could attain this item. I won't say what it is, but in due time, those who are privy enough will not only see what it is, but be able to benefit from how drastically it can change your life just like it changed mine. So, don't be afraid to ask for whatever it is you want, and don't shortchange yourself feeling like you're not supposed to receive. Let me ask you this. If the divine creator of all created all of us, what was the purpose of bringing us here to struggle other than that being programmed into your consciousness that you have to or you're supposed to struggle? Your divine parents don't want you to struggle. Your higher self does not want you to struggle, but you have to be the one to break that. So if you really wish, follow through with all of those other steps that bring about the action, like I spoke of yesterday, for you to get the things that you will into being. I appreciate you for being here. Always, more so for yourself than for me. Now, if you notice, I got one of my shirts on, so y'all go and check that out. You know what I'm saying? The only Uncle Sam that we trust. There's another one, though, that I just saw recently, but I think I'm going to wait before I make that shirt. But again, thank you for being here. I ask that you walk in love, walk in light, walk in peace, and know that you are loved.